I'm usually with Nick on his computer.
Yeah, right. What is up, everybody, man? It is a beautiful, what is it today? Thursday, midday? Man, episode 40 of the Start, Build, Grow show.
This is a
We
special edition episode.
special edition, man. Midday, man. Hopefully everybody's on their lunch break and whatnot and about to jump on here and join us, man. We're gonna be talking about the big conference coming up, the IMG Elite, man. But obviously, we got two guys here that have been in the industry for man, how long? How long have you guys been in the industry, both of you guys?
Our whole lives.
13 and a half years. I guess I started in 2005 as far as my first official year in the business.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And same with you.
I launched my first construction company in 2006, but I was in the business basically my whole life, man. I was swinging a hammer when I was 10 years old. So, I think similar to Lee, we kind of both came from contracting backgrounds. You know what I mean? It's like my hands are raw, man. I've been building my whole life, so it's been fun to kind of transition from that into business management, entrepreneurship, leadership, coaching, and now speaking and doing these sort of things.
Right. Well, I mean, it's
brothers. Hoo-ah!
My dude, man, this is kind of a long time coming, right?
Yeah, man.
Lee and I connected a few years ago now. And now we kind of just finally like, all right, man, we got to collaborate a little bit. We both have done this whole live thing. We've been on Facebook. You've seen us. We're at the conferences. We're both headlining, both keynoting this conference coming up. We're like, you know what? Let's sell some tickets. Let's combine our forces and bring some heat and share some of this combined knowledge with the industry, man. That's what this is all about today.
Yeah. So Lee, what are you gonna be talking about at the conference for your keynote?
The blue collar marketing method, dude. This
The
is
blue
evolution. I'm the third generation. My uncle and my dad started in 1993, and this is like the Toyota assembly line combined with our roofing sales CRM or whatever. But the point is like I'm talking about the blue collar marketing method, and this was the way of the past. And essentially, we like to blend the old school with the new school, which is essentially what I see as the future of advertisement and Facebook advertisement. Now, we know the power of marketing. We know the power of the live brand. We know the power of getting people to really understand the personality of a company. And so what we've been able to do this year is bring a digital sales pitch in the neighborhood. And so Gary Vee, the one thing that Gary Vee said we need to become a media company. He said that somebody needs to be the Bob Villa of the neighborhood. Do y'all remember that? How did that affect y'all as far as like when you heard that?
You know what, man? I think you and I were cut from we were inspired by the same thing. Even before that conference where we both got to hang out and meet Gary Vee, I had just, before I even knew the guy, I hadn't even followed him online. And I was just traveling one time and I like to listen to books on Audible. So I was like, oh, let me just see what's hot right now. Let me find a book that I can get into. And the first one I got into was Crush It back in the day, like 7 years ago.
Yep.
And then the next book I got into was Ask Gary Vee. And then I proceeded to go ahead and get the new book, Crush It. So all that stuff combined is what really inspired me, like to turn my roofing company into a media company.
we lost Lee for a second. Brought him back in though. We got him back in though, man.
Is he trying to go on his cell phone too, or what?
Yeah.
So that's what inspired me. And then going to the show just like really just reinforced it, where he was like in your face, like, hey, somebody's got to do this. Yeah. And I both were like in our own right. We're like, yeah, somebody does have to do this. And with the experience level and just some of the accomplishments that we've been able to do as a company, and people always coming to me like asking for advice and suggesting different things, and kind of led me to just let me just throw myself out there and see if I can help inspire some contractors out there to do big things. And and I guess it's working. We have a couple people actually watching, so that's good. It's at least working a little bit.
So what errors are you seeing, Lee, then on that marketing side? What are roofers doing right now that they're missing the boat in terms of marketing and branding their companies?
Well, first of all, they're not even understanding that there's two companies that dominate the internet, Facebook and Google. A diversified approach is going to basically capitalize off of both platforms. And the internet is free. The free advertisement of becoming a world of paid traffic and mastering how to separate yourself in the marketplace and how to capture people at the top of the buying cycle. Essentially, we use a combination of door-to-door and digital because, you know, I'm taking my Facebook, I'm taking my iPhone, I'm using it like a weapon. I'm creating a story brand with every single message. I would recommend the book by Donald Miller, Building My Story Brand. All my students, I take through it. Matter of fact, I'm going to send you a copy, Randy. Merry Christmas.
Likewise, man. I'm going to send you, shoot me your, yeah, we talked about that. Last time we talked last year, you're like, man, I got this book. I'm going to bring it out. So let's swap books for sure, man.
Yeah.
No. And the guy that really made an impact on me punched me in the face here recently. I don't know if you saw that video. I got punched in the face. Did you see that?
You literally got punched in the face. Like literally, what, like a customer or?
Yeah. So I was with my marketer, and it was a partnership. Like, dude, he loves digital marketing. He was a contractor first, and he wanted to like see door to door, but he really didn't want to. I forced him to go knock doors with me. This to show him what it was like. I'm like, dude, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And there was this gated, house on an acre lot with an old roof, and there was still slip in the gate, and I slipped through the gate. And no soliciting means go soliciting in a good door-to-door. And so I was just proving the fact that if you know how to overcome an objection, if you know how to literally be agreeable, get into someone's most intimate space, it doesn't matter if you're uninvited. If you really believe in your power, then you're going to go there, you're going to deliver your service. So dude comes out drunk, and I was like all mic'd up and like ready to go. I had in my pocket running a voice memo. I had Mauricio holding a cell phone out, and he came running up and he said, "Get off my yard!" And I'm like, "Okay, dude, I'm sorry. I'm a part of the No Roof Left Behind campaign. I'm taking care of your neighbors. I want to make sure you don't get left out. I'm trying to raise the property value one roof at a time." And he just was like, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" And then he literally just like popped me in the face. And so I didn't sell the guy. He's like, "I'm going to get it." And then I kept trying to pitch him. I kept trying to sell him. And he was like, "I'm going to shoot you." Or he's like, "I'll hit you again." And essentially, I left. And I was like, fuck, what do I do now? I just got punched in the face. I feel like a lowly root peddler. And I feel like I trespassed and I was violating the poor guy, but I got punched in the face. And I created this blue-collar marketing video in front of one of my builds. And I said, "Hey, look, my name's Lee. I want to introduce myself to the neighborhood. I want to make sure that you don't get left out. This is a discontinued tile. This is what it looks like when the insurance company pays to replace the discontinued tile. And let me give you a little tip and tour of this process. This is a team of men with a project manager tearing off the roof. We're putting down the peel and stick underlayment. See this peel and stick underlayment? Let me hold your piece up right here. This stuff right here, man, it seals around the nail. You don't understand that we're upgrading your roof. We're holding it accountable to building codes and systems." And I'm like Mr. Bob Villa over there, even though I'm more of a salesman, but I'm doing like a Bob Villa tour of the build in the neighborhood. And anyways, off this campaign that we generated about 7 figures in business through Facebook ads, I realized even when you get punched in the face, maybe like old school isn't always the best approach. So like, I'm going to be talking about how to use Facebook video content in the neighborhoods. And I was motivated to learn how to use Facebook to connect with other roofers. I was motivated to build sales funnels for my coaching business, but I really was like kind of a little bit of a hypocrite. Every interesting man is a hypocrite. I don't know if you've ever felt like that before, because I was generating tons of leads on Facebook for my coaching business, but I wasn't generating tons of leads for my Facebook business, for my roofing business. And
right.
This year that changed. I paid Russell Brunson to be a part of his inner circle. I paid Russell $25,000 to be a part of his group, and that kind of opened my community as far as my eyes to the ClickFunnels community. Y'all use ClickFunnels, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. So we follow Russell.
Yeah, there's another little correlation. My publisher is actually good buddies with Russell. I don't know if you're familiar with Rob Kosberg, who owns Bestseller Publishing. So he and Russell have worked together on their books and stuff like that. So there's a connection there. I haven't had the chance to connect directly with him, but he's definitely on the short list of influencers that I want to get connected with, because Russell is the real deal, man. He's a good dude. He's a stud.
Well, I want to invite y'all to something. So at Funnel Hacker Live, I met Garrett White. I met Chris Record, the guy with the rap. I met Randall Grizzle, a guy who was a high ticket closer that worked for all these people. I was the only roofer there. I want y'all. There's another roofing conference where there's a lot of partying and stuff going on, and a lot of different kinds of learning. But I'm going to avoid that conference. I'm going to go to this Funnel Hacking Live. I want y'all to come with me. We're going to be headlining and speaking at IMG, and that's what this is about. We're going to get into this debate, Hurricane versus Hailstorm, talk about what we're going to be talking about at IMG. But I want y'all to come with me to this in Nashville 1 week after the Roofing Expo, ClickFunnels Conference, Funnel Hacking Live. And so I thought more blue collars would be there next time, because I would bring more blue collars with me, because I think that's what we're doing together, guys, is raising the status of the blue collar entrepreneur. And for us, how many people don't want to be a roofer, don't want to knock on doors, don't want to solicit or get punched in the face like that? And both me and Randy are under 40 years old with multi-million-dollar businesses, and I just don't know other real vehicles where they can basically come in and build a organization where you can have tons of people that depend on you. Everybody makes a lot of money. You solve big problems. Everybody gets paid. Essentially, I love my job. I love the roofing office. I mean, I know I've seen you, Randy. It's a family deal with y'all. What's your favorite part of this business?
Man, the people, man. I absolutely love, and you hit it right on the head, is being able to do something that you love while creating opportunity to create great lifestyles for other people. So that's really what gets me going every day. And to know that we have a whole staff full of people, a sales team that just dominate year in and year out. They're all, taking care of their families. They're all buying new vehicles and buying houses and just growing and investing in their lives. And to be able to create an entity that facilitates that, man, there's nothing better, and then that's kind of what got me into coaching. I mean, people are like, man, you have a big business. Why would you share what you know? Why would you teach others and tell everybody your secrets? It's like, this market is huge, and I want the good people to win. I want to help good people with high integrity that want to dominate and want to do well in the roofing business. I want to help facilitate their growth and their journey as best as I can. I mean, because if I would have known what I know now back then, I think Lee can attest to this. Like, where would we be today if 10 years ago we knew what we know now, right? So that's why both of us just are helping the industry and teaching people those things that we learned.
Yeah, one of my clients just came on the stream. His name's Justin Reichel, but he's one of the nation's leading roofing salespeople. He's competing with us here and sold millions of dollars in commercial deals. And what I see is an obsession with progression among the best people in our business, where we make each other the best versions of ourselves. And so Justin, he needs to be out here speaking at the IMG too. I mean, I'm inviting him. He's the boss. But we are all in it to win it. And for one person to say, why would you share your secrets? You can think in terms of scarcity, but we live in a different kind of world where the world is consuming so much content. There's so many distractions. You have to capture the attention of the person who wants to work for you. You have to capture the attention of your customer. You have to separate yourself. And, it can be done with old school bootstrap ways, like going door to door. And that is the way that I cut my teeth in the business. And that's the best way to do this business. You can knock doors for $10 million jobs, $20 million jobs, $5 million jobs, life-changing money. But, I've also found that marketing is just salesmanship of print. And being a great door-to-door canvasser, maybe selection could be good at marketing. And once people will start to digitize their sales pitch, they can do more with less. And we had over 200 sales recruits come through our system, and we didn't even try to recruit. And I didn't understand when I hired my first social media coach. He was like, Lee, it's not about what you can push out there. It's about what pulls, what comes to you. It's about building so much value in the marketplace that you're not always promoting that it comes to you. So I think the main thing is that, guys, at the IMG conference, we're going to be talking about how two men evolved. The marketplace has changed. You can't build a local business like you used to anymore. And Randy has done an amazing job building a $40 million local business. Where's your home base in Denver?
We're losing you. We're having a hard time hearing you. You're kind of faint right now.
So so this is what I was saying. So yeah, Lee, we got a couple comments on the volume being low. So just give it what you got, man. I know we kind of put this together pretty short time here, but let's talk about. So the big thing is we're gonna be talking about beyond the storm, right? How do you win and sustain your business outside of depending on the storm, right? So I do want to focus on that, but first off, I want to look at so we have hurricanes and we got hail, right? And we got two titans in two different storm industries. Now, we mentioned the advertising side, and I think that we discussed a little bit about how we're using Facebook advertising, how we're doing that. I want to dive a little bit deeper because, you hear a lot at these conferences, guys are using that stuff now, right? But I'll tell you this, about 90% of those people that are using those Facebook advertising, they're not having the success that they want. Lee, if you're talking about that, do you have any suggestions on what people can kind of improve on that? Just a couple tips that people can be doing when a storm hits to make sure that they are successful in generating the leads they want through Facebook?
Yeah, step number one, don't be afraid to go on. Get your story brand right. That means basically understand your unique sales proposition, understand what your customers' fears are, and educate them and help them see past those fears. Basically, when it comes down to it, if you use video in the neighborhood, you don't have to target specific people. All you have to do is use a 2-mile radius around each build. You think it's complicated, but you can build an iPhone, an advertisement for a lead conversion campaign on your iPhone. You don't even need a website. You can get a lead form. A lead form and a video is the easiest way for a roofing contractor to create his first Facebook lead. And so once he becomes a digital salesperson, then he's evolved. He's no longer just depending on word of mouth referrals, no longer just depending on door-to-door. He's using the roofing cheat code, which is the iPhone weapon, the Facebook in the neighborhood, and the video. People aren't just going to watch you. Hey, I'm Lee Haight in the neighborhood. I've got a special on roofing. I'm taking care of your neighbor. But if I say, hey, I'm Lee Haight, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm in the neighborhood taking care of your friend here, John. Now, John didn't think there was storm damage on his property when I came by, or John has a old roof and he didn't want to spend money out of pocket on his roof. He just knew that one day it would be a cost to him. So I stopped by, and this is for even a retail close. We were able to get John a brand new roof. He avoided unnecessary roof expense with a better quality system. Check it out here. We have a GAF Master Elite Golden Pledge warranty system. You know what differentiates this system? It's the Tiger Paw underlayment. Let me show you this Tiger Paw. Oh yeah, look at that Tiger Paw. And you got the Ridge Cap, you got the starter, you got here. This makes you a better quality roof system. You need to know about this because this roof system will take. Look, man, we're offering no payment, no interest. Right now, $500 off any free roof upgrade to this Tiger Paw underlayment, this GAF Master Elite. I'm the neighborhood roofer. You probably don't even know you need a roof, but you're going to hear from me. We're going to come by your house. You're going to see our signs in the neighborhood, and we want to connect with you. Share this with your friends. Oh, my God. You don't have to have great video, but 80% of Facebook videos are the proven best offer for people online is a $500 off premium roof upgrade. Just a simple little offer. Okay? Give them a free estimate. Give them free insurance assistance. Give them free drone photos. Give them free freaking turkeys at Thanksgiving. It is time to give away the value, the content, and get into the video. On their phones. People are watching this. They're trapped. And they're consuming content, trying to get ahead, trying to figure out how to implement. And the biggest problem I see roofers is they have a hard time actually taking the information and then putting money behind it. They're like, is this really going to work? I mean, they're so afraid of making a mistake, of hiring the wrong consultant. They listen to so much information. There's a bunch of knuckleheads in our business. I think the biggest thing that contractors do is they They overthink asking for help. Do you agree?
Yeah,
idea.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's. I mean, it's not just contractors, but entrepreneurs. We're grown men. We start businesses. Grown men and women. It's like, there's a certain sense of kind of pride and certain sense of, I got this, to where sometimes we get ourselves into trouble and we're almost too afraid to ask for help, or too afraid to understand that we don't know everything. It's okay not to know everything, but it's really important for any entrepreneur out there to find someone who does know what you want to learn and learn from them, whether that's a mentor or a coaching program or something like that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have executive coaches that I work with on a regular basis. And the things, I'm constantly learning things that I'm constantly delivering down to my clients as well. But going back to what you were saying about the Facebook and the social media strategy, we call this digital door knocking. You can kind of, with the technology of being able to literally pick one neighborhood. I want to target these 300 houses, and I'm going to spend a couple $100, and I'm going to make sure every single person on Facebook in that neighborhood watches this video. And then I'm going to introduce them and ask them to come out to, say, a barbecue or something at their community center on Saturday. These are different things that we're strategizing to try to execute on as much as you can, because, I mean, Lee even said it, that the industry is changing. Like, we both came up where it's like, okay, if you want to be successful, go knock doors and sign deals. That's the only way to be successful. That's how I was introduced. That's how we both cut our teeth in this business. But I think a lot of roofers just, they just leave it there. They think, okay, that's all you got to do. But I think to expand your horizon a little bit, we got to embrace technology, embrace the social media side of things. So if you can have a combination of door knocking and digital door knocking, as well as a great brand reputation, it's a trifecta that really helps out. And eventually, speaking from experience, it converts to where you don't have to do as much door knocking, because people are just coming back to you and back, because you built that brand up, you built that reputation up.
So let's say a big storm hits. What are you guys doing? As you guys know it's about to hit, what are you guys doing? What does that plan look like? How you guys?
Okay, so we're in a storm. We're in a storm office right now that is only about 60 days old. We're producing like 8-9 roofs a day in here. Okay, this is the epicenter of the production office. I'll give you a little tour. I'll tell you a little story of how this storm started. Give you a timeline. Hurricane hits. I'm running Facebook ads before they get here. I run a public service campaign. It got shared 300 times. I'm creating leads for $20 a lead. The phone's ringing off the hook. We're running our Google ads. James, how often was the phone ringing with the Google ads?
Sure, every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes. We used to do a local set. We'd have to pay $100,000. Jeremy here, Georgia. And Jeremy, tell them where you're from.
From Atlanta.
And your company?
DreamWorks Restoration.
Okay, tell them about how you doubled your income.
Man, the marketing, the social media, the brand presence, different things of that nature.
But you did learn this business knocking doors.
Yes, dude. You got to knock till the blood comes to the top of the knuckle.
And how do we mix both here? How does this system work? How did you come in here and mold into the system? What happened? Tell them, they want to know what happens after a storm.
So basically, I mean, we had to obviously integrate a system that would work where we had multiple people doing different tasks to ensure that, hey, we're trying to push $30, $40, $50 million in the storm. Well, not one person can run that. So what we've done is we've obviously integrated a good workmanship with the management that we have on staff, the permit runners, the people that are in the field taking care of the teams, making sure that we don't have to stop production, which slows down the money. And then we've been able to utilize Lee and his ability to go out there and generate these leads from Google, from Facebook, but it's also put us in the presence of areas that we may not have found if it wasn't for that. So in the midst of getting these leads and working these leads, we're also sending out and we're blitzing. We send out blitz teams every single day that go and dominate entire neighborhoods where we're walking away with 15 to 20 contracts in a day.
Oh, also telemarketing. Tell them about the doctor's office, Nick.
Which one?
The doctor's office that led to deals. Old school telemarketing.
Oh, yeah. So like old school telemarketing. So basically we had a doctor's office who I guess was called upon.
Commercial telemarketing.
Yeah.
It's still the best way to get commercial.
Yeah. So basically we just had these guys calling on rainy days. We were sitting down and we were just going through Google. We were finding the contacts and who we needed to reach. And we were just generating free estimates right there on the spot. And then we were going to these properties and we were just saying, hey, look, we found your information. We know just your property was devastated. We've already compiled an estimate for you. What do we need to move forward to get your business? And that's how we use the telemarketing.
Would not Google. We use Reonomy and Prospect now.
Yeah, that's it.
But that's on the commercial masterclass. But anyways, I mean, you know, whether you got, you know, a leaderboard where you have the sales posted, where you have a place for the guys to work, you know, whenever they come in. I mean, you know, these type of offices we set up, we're like war soldiers. So it's like setting up camp. The thing, we move so fast, we're super freaks with the social media. We multiply. And that's the thing about the blue collar branding is that all the advertising on social media, what it does is it attracts top talent. And that's essentially the biggest problem that we have is getting quality people. My uncle who did $80 million a year, I asked him, I was like, Uncle, how do I grow my business? He's like, dude, it's so simple. You need 3 things. You need more people. All right. You need to turn the good people into leaders. And then you got to make example out of people. You got to fire their ass and cut their legs off and then not pay them and hang them up. But, you know, the truth is like, that's how this business works. You got boundaries. You got to enforce them. You got knuckleheads. You got to attract better guys so that you don't have to be a slave to the knuckleheads. And then so most of the roofers, they're like, I hate my life because I lost my salesman. He started a new company. I hate my life because I have to travel to be away from my wife because I'm chasing storms. You know, I set this storm up, and through the partnerships and through the team, you know, I want to be in Naples, even though this is a new storm. You know, I was here to come here for the first 30 days, but I get these GMs, like I set it up. This does 25 million plus 30 million without me. And, you know, I come back once every, you know, a weekend or whatever, but this is the kind of momentum that happens when you mix two. And I expect Randy to see explosion in his business and his regular business because of how much Start, Build, Grow show is getting attention. I mean, y'all's content is amazing. And the roofing business, I got to step my game up. I got to get the podcast game up. Y'all are doing a great job. And the point is like, Randy, your business is going to freaking 10X based on exposure and partnerships. And the point is, it's like at the 10X or at the IMG, January 1st through 24th, we are going to be giving an intimate group of people a little bit more than fluff, because me and Randy are not empty suits. We are men with real roofing businesses with families that have quality of life for the people in our organization. And people are like, hey, this is really cool. There's a lot of parties. It's a lot of, you know, you can stroke your ego or you can be humbled enough to save your business. And I'm humble enough to learn from everybody. Randy can teach me some stuff. Tell us, like, as far as like leadership and systems, what's unique about how you run Elite, Randy?
Well, you know what? Let me give you a little background, because, you know, I came up in the same system, man. I came up, you know, big storm happens, we got to set up and we got to mobilize and we got to get out as fast as we can and do that. And it changed my life. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here today. But the reality of it is, I was always intrigued by trying to figure out a different way, because I didn't want to have to travel all the time. I didn't want to have to be dependent on having to go somewhere else to travel and that sort of thing. Some people love it. Some people, if you're younger and you don't have a family yet, man, live your life, travel, experience storming. It's an amazing experience. You learn a lot about a lot, you know, but I was really focused on where can I go and set up shop to have that has in an area that has consistent hailstorms, that I can just build a great local brand that just feeds us and feeds the company year in and year out. So we ended up making that a priority. And from door knocking to get started to all the branding and the marketing and the systemization and the culture and the infrastructure that we've built, we've been able to build a brand that just continues to scale and grow at a 70% rate every year. And we don't chase storms. We just capture the storms when they come. So there's two different philosophies, but storm damage, storm restoration is an amazing business that can change your life and can provide the ultimate lifestyle that everyone really wants to have. And it's just a matter of, you know, how you go about executing that. We were blessed to be in an area that kind of is notorious for hailstorms, so we don't have to really branch out that far. But there's a lot of competition. This is one of the most challenging markets in the country.
The hurricanes versus hailstorms. Where do you live, Colorado or Florida? The reason why I'm in Florida,
there it is.
I want to stay in Florida just like Randy wants to stay in Colorado. It's strategic placement. The rules for financing here, there's a PACE loan. You can take out basically a property tax lien against the home, and it doesn't have to have your credit score, no payment, no interest for a period of time. Like, these retail roof deals are serious here in this state. And, you know, it brings up, there's a company called Power Home Remodeling, 500 million. You familiar with them?
Yep.
I actually am, yeah.
So they work in partnership with Green Sky and financing every one of the projects. They work into master sales training system to put together a package to upsell. They don't focus on insurance claims, but they go to insurance claims market. They sell a higher quality product from a higher quality company. They spend the time to follow the process. Now, my process is simple. It's the 5 I's of closing. I say to interrupt. I say to investigate. I say that you have to invest. And then I take the Wolf of Wall Street's approach of instilling certainty and then asking for the ink. And I think that beyond that, the guys on Power Home Remodeling, they're getting roofs in markets where people are getting $250 a square. They're getting $600 a square because they know how to they use financing and retail and a sales process and training, and they're out doing all the stormers. They're recruiting like crazy. And a lot of the thing about recruiting is people think that you can go online, you can put a magic ad. Randy, do you have a magic ad? Do you have like a magic job placement?
You know what, man? You kind of alluded to it earlier, but my whole mission is to build a company that sells itself. Literally, that's our focus. Build a company that sells itself, and people just come to you. It's crazy. There's no magic ad. Believe it or not, I literally have a waiting list to come work for me. Literally. Because of social media, because of the brand, we are the #1 rated company in Denver. #1. It took a vision and a lot of hard work to get there, but we did that in a short period of time, and a lot of other people can do that. There's a lot more room in this space all across the country to build a brand like that. When you build a brand that speaks for itself, you automatically start attracting the cream of the crop, the top, the best, the best of the best, and that's how we've been able to grow and scale our business.
So people coming to you that want to work with you, people that want to have you do their services or do their roof is great. When they're coming to you, a company that sells themselves, that sounds amazing.
Well, I'm speaking about employees and salespeople.
Right, on that side too, because I know hiring is one of the biggest issues in the industry. So how do you do that? How do you develop that? Because honestly, that's taking time.
It takes time, but it's a commitment to process. It's a commitment to creating process for everything you do in your business, all the while reinstilling a great culture. You know, if you can create a culture of teamwork. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Are you there?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so when they come to IMG, if you're watching this, you need to come to IMG to get 2 real solutions to the industry biggest problem. These are me and Randy, business owners that are not going to sit here and tell you how to recruit people but don't have a sales team. I'm sorry, but listen here. The market got more transparent. You couldn't do people the wrong way. You couldn't stiff people, and it threw a lot of people out of the roofing business. But the problem is that the roofing business is one big echo chamber. And you know what an echo chamber is when you hear the same information echoed around just like over and over again. And so Randy's got his own information. I've got my own information. We come from the same place, but 2 different things. I've been at 0. I went from 0 to 1, from 2 to 5, from 5 to 10 million, from 10 to 50 million. And the point is that I've been there in that struggle and had to rebuild over and over again, because that being at that start and over point is something that these guys think that they can't relate to us about. And the other part about that is that IMG, you're going to learn, really, you're only one person away from a surge in your business, and how to get a waiting list for people to come to work for you is building your brand. That's what Randy just said. Building his brand meant everything. So you're going to come to Blue Collar Branding School.
And you know what? I just say, if you're living in an echo chamber, hearing the same information, like you could get some kind of magic ad or some kind of magic system, and you're looking at the preacher and you're saying, hey, preacher, where's your sales team? Where's your success? Where's your system at work? Where are your people that are running your business without you? Me and Randy, our systems work, and we're able to help and give back to the community. And so there's just so much misinformation. I was so honored to be able to share the stage with y'all and be able to show real roofers what it means, because you have to stand behind all your promises. You know how many roofs that I've had to stand behind in my life, Randy? I've been called a storm chaser, a guy who doesn't stand, a scam artist. I've been called all these names. And my father and I, we fixed every leak that's ever happened. I've stood behind every guarantee I've ever made. And I'm sure there's been roofs that we fixed or you fixed, Randy, that's not your fault, you know? But if you
know how many tires I've had to replace from nails that were on the street from some other roofer, but because I was doing the, I mean, it is what it is. It's part of the business, and I think that's what differentiates the best roofers out there. It's not about how you can sell, how you can install roofs, and how great you are at everything. It's how you compose and how do you handle yourself when things go wrong.
Fact. And so if you're living in an echo chamber, getting the wrong information from the wrong people, and then you gotta beware, because what's happened is those people are getting extinguished in the market. If you run from your problems, BBB says F. If you run from your problems, Angie's List says fail. If you don't know how to evolve and create leads online, then you're a slave to the storm chasing game forever. If you don't learn to market, you're going to be just another roofer rat race running in circles, living paycheck to paycheck. And if you do the same things, you'll get the same results. If you go to echo chambers in which people that run them don't have the answers because they don't live an example, then go ahead, enjoy the show. But if you want to come to a real experience where we get one-on-one nitty-gritty, I'm no punk. I'm not for everybody. I'm hardcore door-to-door. I'm raising the status of the blue-collar entrepreneur. I'm not for people that are empty suits. I'm going to say it's time to get your hands dirty and prospect for recruits as a business owner 2.5 hours a day. Prospect in the field with your team 2.5 hours a day. Find a way to grow your business 2.5 hours a day no matter what. And if you don't, then your business is dying. And so, you know, maybe that kind of focus is what it takes to double sales within 12 months, but it's not what people want to hear. And, you know, a lot of times people just want to be, you know, they just really want to hang out, party, and pat each other on the back.
You got to work.
So what should guys be doing, you know, business owners right now towards the end of the year? What should they be doing to making sure that next year is a hell of a lot better?
First of all, it's you need a coach. I've got a coach. I've had a coach my whole life. My dad's been my coach. He said, son, you ain't doing this right. He said, son, you suck at this. Hey, you should tighten this up. Every day on Monday, I can count on my dad being a little bit of having a hair up his ass, wanting to get in me about something I'm not doing right. And you know what? It gets old. But at the same time, I always have that. And I've been blessed to have that. Now I also have other coaches that like Russell Brunson that's in the inner circle, like Steven Larson. Like beyond that, you know, guys like Garrett White, Ryan Stewman, Grant Cardone. I mean, all these different people that you know I look at, and essentially, you know what I'm saying is it's like, hey, you need a coach a lot of times to give you the direction and accountability. And if you're watching this thinking about personal development, ask yourself, you know, did you go to college? Did you invest in education? Your skill set is what keeps you making money. And so if you can get for freaking, I think $600, I don't know if we're going to do my clients get to buy one, get one. Your clients, I'm sure, got some kind of special
deal. Get one, man. Let's tickets. We got to get some people there, people in the seats, man. This is going to be a good show.
Yeah, we have about 60 people from the Sky Diamonds Elite group that are going to be there. I know that it's going to be capped off at about 300 people. We're taking invitation only. We don't want any knuckleheads. We don't want any guys that aren't serious about scaling. If you're a salesperson, you should come just to learn how we close commercial deals, how we actually do some of these large deals. I mean, I have guys that are making really big money off of some of the stuff they learned off of Kevin. And Kevin's got some really important engineers and insurance companies. And it'll open your mind being around these people with these large deals all the time. Kevin's got $1 million deals coming in every week. You want to connect with somebody like Kevin. You want to be, you know, as those leads come in off the internet up, you know, in his preferred network. I mean, the guy's got $100 million worth of insurance claims, and we're roofers. We should all, you know, go there and find out how we can help, you know. So
well, that's the idea of the whole Beyond the Storm concept, right? So first off, if you live in a storm market, you got to be able to set yourself up to capture that storm when it happens. Okay, but just because a storm happens 1 year does not mean that you have to just limit yourself to 1 year's worth of business. That the Beyond the Storm concept is to how to get the extra 30% that's always left over after a storm happens, and how to set yourself up with large deals, large loss deals, commercial claims. They take a long time. I mean, you could speak to this. Like, we have deals. I mean, I got millions and millions of dollars in the pipeline. I may not see some of those deals for 6 months, 9 months, next year, but you have to put yourself out there and start establishing that side of the business in order to go beyond the storm, in order to set yourself up with some larger projects that can help carry you through the ebbs and flows of the quote unquote storm season, if you will. So that's the idea, is how do you capture stuff left over and plant the seed for larger projects that can help carry you to the whole nother level.
Give us some more.
We're going to show you exactly how to do that. If you come to the IMG Win the Storm January 21st through 24th, me and Randy are going to show you what exactly works for our business. There's other speakers that are going to be there. I don't have the list in front of me, but I know that the young man that started the Equipter company is going to be talking about branding, talking about marketing. I just saw that he reacted, and he's an example of a young stud in the roofing business that I look forward to seeing what's up his sleeve. He's got a new company. He's got a new software, kind of look like a ClickFunnels for contractors. Interested to see about it. And essentially it's about, you know, whenever you come to California, immersing yourself around contractors that are living on a higher plane. You want to become a championship contractor. You need to hang around champions, and champions of evolving, of evolving in your recruiting process, evolving in how you generate leads, evolving in how you lead your company. And so I am not leaving the state of Florida. I sold a multifamily property here this week, and I was really planning on doing all the rehabilitation on it because it was really going to be a great value add deal. And I left Texas because Florida is so great of a state long term for both retail, for hurricane damage, and for me, it's the last stand. It's like what Randy said. He drew a line in the sand. It was great for him. He was able to, find a time in his life where he's like, dude, I'm not chasing storms. Denver's where I'm at. I'm gonna market. I'm gonna find the right $1 million producers. I heard a rumor that you had an average of, well, how many sales guys you got? What's your? This is.
I have 16 sales guys, and we just tipped over. We're at 19.5 million right now. We have 2 weeks to get to 20 million.
That's incredible efficiency, and most contractors would scream, dream, fight. They should
check this out. Check this out. I'm going to plug my breakout session. I'm doing a breakout session, and I'm going to teach you exactly how we did that. We built that 1-2 people at a time. Every single one of our sales guys would just dominate. They just absolutely kill it every year, and we have worked with them individually through our system and built that up to where they go home at night, take care of their families, make 200,000 every year, and it's just a great life.
What's your turnover on the sales guys?
I have a waiting list.
Yeah,
I know. I'm saying things that people are just like, what? It's absolutely true. I got the numbers to prove it, and half my sales team is going to be there in Anaheim. You can hear from them directly.
And
so I feel like a lot of people. Oh, go ahead.
Well, that's also what everyone should do. They should bring their teams to IMG.
Yep.
This is a recruiting free zone. This is a zone where we are there to learn, to collaborate, and essentially you network with people, you build value, you build and plant seeds for your future. So the way this works is simple. You've got a sales team, and you want to know, should I take them to California? Is it worth investing? And I tell you, we're going to help you determine your why. Purpose-based selling, seeing that it's possible in a sales team rubbing shoulders with Randy's guys. Yeah, 16 guys can sell $1 million. I had 5 guys earn over $500,000 for me. Those guys are going to be at the conference, and you're going to find out, what it means to hang out with some of these guys. I have one dude that didn't quite make it to 7 figures, but about 800 grand. And, as the owner and constantly in growth mode, sometimes you have to be willing to make other people rich and then reinvest into your company. And that's where I also see roofers fail. They're like, it's wintertime, I can't invest, I'm worried. But you want to know how I have success. I'm willing to make other people rich. I'm willing to invest in the long game. The biggest test for an entrepreneur is the marshmallow test. Which one are you? Are you a 2-year-old toddler that when you are given a marshmallow and said, if you wait 5 minutes, you can have 2? Are you the 2-year-old toddler that eats the marshmallow that only gets one more marshmallow? Or are you the guy that can wait the 5 minutes and get the 2 marshmallows? Most of the time, average contractors are not the person that can wait. Most contractors, average contractors, they're not like me and Randy. They can't continually invest in their people, continually invest in the marketing systems, take their time to build value in the marketplace. We're going to take time out of our busy day to talk to the masses. We're going to take time. We're going to bring our families to IMG in California. We're going to break down our systems. I have this huge PowerPoint presentation on the blue collar marketing method. Randy's got a whole breakdown on how he built his business to $20 million in business in one location. And so instead of there being 1,000 people and you just seeing this facade and this lightning fireworks, you're going to get in person hours with real men who have the answers to the questions you seek, not a bunch of fluff. I'm so sick of fluff. People give me a hard time. I've been called names in the marketplace. They don't know who to trust. Roofers are out there wanting to learn from people. Randy is in the same business as me. We both help roofers grow their businesses. And I'm saying you should buy Randy's program. You should buy my program. But you should be careful who you get information from, because we have roofing companies that work in the marketplace. What do you think about, the answers to the questions that old do you think there's a lot of old ways that don't work anymore? Randy, what do you think about that? What are the old ways that don't work?
You know what, man? I think a lot. I mean, it hurts from an old schooler like yourself. Kind of hurts to admit this, but this market, man, I'll tell you. I don't know. I know it's different. I know you've been here. You know what's up with the Colorado market. It's become a very, very, very difficult place to have efficient success knocking doors. It's just an unfortunate, harsh truth. We literally sent a team out all for an entire week to a specific section. We're trying to kind of regenerate some stuff, and it was one of the worst efficiency rates we've ever had as a contractor in 8 years. People have this market, when it gets hit over and over and over, at some point people are like, everybody knows a roofer, for one. Plus, they've had their door knocked so many times for so many years that it's just lost its luster and it's lost its efficiency. So you have to start getting creative. You have to start thinking outside the box to get in front of these clients and get that brand up to where they still need roofs. But if you're just in line with 20 other people behind you, there's only so many things you can do to differentiate yourself. With this digital door knocking strategy, imagine sending them 3 different ads or 3 different videos that show your logo, and then you show up to the door. After leaving a door hanger, after leaving a come watch us build flyer. We're building a roof 2-3 houses down. I just wanted to come by and say hi and make sure that if any debris ends up in your yard or we're being too loud, just let us know. Instead of, hey, free roof, hey, free roof, hey, free roof. You got to approach it a little bit differently, and you got to change up your strategy to do things differently. And that's just one example.
Mm-hmm. So I do want to talk a little bit about the sales side of things, because, Randy, you were talking about your sales team, how you actually have a waiting list and stuff like that. You said obviously that means turnover is extremely, extremely low. What are you guys doing for your sales team? How are you guys making sure that you guys are getting the best salespeople, and how are you guys making sure that these salespeople are as successful as they can be?
We train them. Okay, 80-20. 80% of our sales guys never sold roofs before. The other 20 are people that worked for companies that didn't agree with the values that the company that they were working for, and they wanted to find a good, solid company to come work for. Just imagine that for 1 minute. Imagine putting the time in ahead of time to one-on-one, one-on-two, one-on-three, literally train and mold and build and show these people a duplicatable, repeatable system and then feed them with great opportunities and see what happens, see what manifests. It's proofs in the pudding. You got to train your people. And if you don't have a training system, you got to build one. If you want help building one, give me or Lee a call. Simple as that.
Give us both a call. What are you talking about? Get the gold nuggets from both companies.
Literally. Imagine this, dude. Imagine fast forward a year from now, somebody who is in the verge of blowing their company up, they're going to connect with both of us, and they're going to take things from both programs, and they're just going to dominate.
They're going to dominate, and I already know people that have both programs that are dominating. So I tell you one thing, if you haven't invested in a personal coaching program, if you haven't got access to the Sky Diamonds University or Roof Sales Academy, you need to get in today. But beyond that, we have a special deal for people that go to the IMG. We want to personally connect with you before you decide that you want training from us. And you can do that for like at the 2-for-1 level, dude, it's like $300 a ticket. And we're going to be both doing breakouts and masterminds. And it's very much a controlled environment. And we don't have like a whole litany of people that are pitching from the stage. Essentially what we're doing is we're having the limited experts that have real value to bring. And Bradley, I'm going to be going to Vegas, be doing a podcast with him, but Bradley's a mentor of mine. He is
Brad's the man.
BT Lightspeed. And, you know, he basically is going to be speaking. He's going to be talking about closing. He's going to be talking about hiring. He's building a sales team right now in the Lightspeed Army. And Brad he's a closer's closer. And everybody doesn't understand that.
He's like the pioneer of this whole virtual training thing, man.
Yeah.
He taught Grant Cardone.
Yeah,
it's that guy. Like, he is legit. Like, we can't even say it enough. But this guy, every time I get to interact with him, the things I learn is just like mind blowing on how dialed in he is at what he does.
And he's gonna hang with us. He's gonna chill. He's gonna be real. He's not one of these leaders that's an elitist. That's unattachable. I mean, Brad's down to earth. He's gonna shake hands. He's gonna meet the roofers. He wants to know our audience. We want you to come meet a mentor. I'm gonna be getting coaching from Brad. I don't call Brad enough. It's like I notice how my guys who don't call me for coaching enough, I don't always – that phone's heavy sometimes,
Yeah.
Hey, dude, sales are not what I wanted them to be this month. What am I doing wrong? What can I do? What can I take to the next level? It's hard to ask that question. And, if you're right now a contractor and you want to get to know both me and Randy, and the one thing is I will disagree with you. Is that if people don't know you, they won't flow you. So you have to I don't know who the champions are going to be. The 80-20 rule means this. If you have 100 men going to battle, 80 of them are targets. That means 80 of these people are only meant to shield bullets. And that maybe you got 10 decent warriors, you got 10 top performers or 9 top performers. You got one real warrior that's driving the whole thing. And so to get to the warriors, to get to the top performers, I do have to go through some targets. And so I have to manifest teams fast. I have to be on the fly. I've done it. And so what I can tell you is it's like, hey, there's a disc assessment. There's a way in which we can identify the dominant, the personalities of somebody that's a top performer. What do I do to top performers? I tell them that they can't cut it. They're not a knock star. Look, you come in this organization, you're going to be a knock star. We are knock stars. We talk to everybody we speak to in the neighborhood. I know that Denver's a hard place to knock doors, but I can knock doors in Denver.
Yep.
With the blue collar marketing method or digital door knocking doors behind that, knocking doors off your build. See, the 6-pack is not a door knock. It's an extension of the referral. You say, hey, look, your neighbor John sent me over here, and we want to make sure you don't do business with the wrong roofer. You don't understand why he picked me over everybody else. He got 20% more value. We were able to give him 100% better service. He said, if you don't let me give you an estimate, you're crazy, man. How
much easier is it to get on a roof into someone's kitchen table if you already have a roof going on in the neighborhood?
It's 100% easier.
It's
and
crazy.
That's why door knocking will never die in our business, because you
just got to shift. You got to shift. That's all. It's a paradigm.
You got to go around your power. So you pivot. Like basketball, if you think about every build and you knock every single 6-pack and you ask every referral and you contact everybody's insurance agent, you're just pivoting and more focused on your approach with the digital, with the direct mail, with the recruiting. And I can recruit. Like, one thing about it is like, even I see Vivint. I'm friends with the vice president of a company that does 4,000. You might be watching the stream. His name's Jeff Mendez. He recruits a lot of people. They don't recruit like me, but they recruit really well. They have more system to their recruits. But they look at me as one man who can produce 200 recruits in a year. And maybe those recruits don't all stick. Maybe those guys don't ever get past the prospector stage. But I put them through the training. I put them out on the streets. And I make them cut their teeth with Operation Bloody Knuckle. And if they pass the test, great. If they don't, they hand the leads to the closers. And the warriors are the ones that go behind the men that are used as targets. And unfortunately, the targets, all right, they're molded into stronger men by getting shot. And so you learn when you go to battle with me that this is a real deal warrior, a general. I filled generalship, not just when I'm selling or starting a storm or taking over a marketplace, but in how you lead the men. Because remember, you have to turn the men into leaders. They're always going to press you. So if they don't know their job expectations, if they don't have a system, and if they don't have their boundaries, and if your standards are what you tolerate, so you tolerate them crossing the boundaries, you tolerate them breaking the system, you tolerate them doing things that are unethical, then you bring cancer in your business. I had a good friend I had to fire, and I'd known him for 5 years, a tenured dude. You never would have thought that this would have happened, doing side projects or stuff like that. And roofing happens when guys want to start their own companies. They do a deal on the side, they keep the money. And sometimes, this is, it happens. Okay. But whenever it happens to you and it's one of your friends, I had to look at this man and I had to tell him, like, you forfeited tons and tons of money, dude. And you know what? I did this one time. And this is the thing about me. I'm transparent and vulnerable enough to tell you. I was 19 years old. I was working for one of my dad's friends. I was in Denver, Colorado, and I wanted to do my own roof one time, and I got the guy to pay me in cash, and I went to Statewide Supply, and the shame and the disgusting feeling that I got whenever I got a call from my dad's buddy who's no longer with us, but he said, "Why are you buying materials in cash at Statewide Supply?" And I felt like I was just a thief that had been caught, and it was disgusting. I was 19. I made a dumb mistake. It was a real stupid mistake. But I had $60,000 in commissions coming to me, and I ended up being asked to leave. My dad's best friend saying, "Please leave the Denver market because I don't want you in my company. You're a cancer. You can't be doing this. I can't tolerate this." I didn't understand I had to be made an example of, but my legs had to be cut. And so that's the thing. The standards are what you tolerate. And business leaders need to understand the rules of this game. The rules have been passed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's some tangible things, pieces of advice that our viewers can take on that. This has been an issue, unfortunately, with our whole industry, because there's a lot of people that come in and the strong survive, but the weak, what happens? They are the ones that end up causing negativity and giving the roofing contractors a bad rap. So what we try to do to combat that is have a better process of evaluating people before you hire them. That's the key. Is
this guy passes all the tests.
Interview, hiring, onboarding process. But the key to that is, though, it starts with understanding, and this is how I believe, okay? This is understanding what your true values are as a company. Define that. It could be 3 words. If those people don't fit within those 3 words, they don't get hired. And that'll eliminate a lot of the riffraff on the back end and a lot of the headaches that management team and the leadership team gets when people are just unethical and don't have the right character to be working for your company or for my company.
Then I would have missed out on this. I would have missed out on this gym called Justin Parker. And everybody let me tell you the story. He called me at 2:00 in the morning with a bunch of Facebook messages. I was like, oh my God, what is this crazy guy? I wake up, my phone's going ding, 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 ding. He's sending me pictures of him in front of houses selling jobs. I'm like, this guy's nuts. He's probably on something. It's late at night. This guy's nuts. So I probably should have never hired him because something was up. He shows up in Boston, Massachusetts, and he'd been working with Anthony over there, and he's like, I got to go. This is not working. And he came to me, and he didn't have a bag. He didn't have clothes. Like I was at the subway, and he comes off of the fucking train, and he's got no bag. And I'm like, what the what? You don't have a bag? I had to go to Kohl's. We had to buy him some clothes. I let him live with it. And let me tell you, that dude, he comes from money. His dad is a multimillionaire, and he's a smart kid, and he chose to be in that position. I mean, but he's a master of doors. He's a master of driving the team. He's a master of communication. He's a great marketer. He's America's golden child. He goes out and knocks 100 doors a day. He is the spirit animal of our company, and he has got his life together. We've helped him kind of come back from despair as far as without purpose, and he's got purpose. He's got a lot of things going for him. He's making a lot of money, and I'm talking.
That's exactly it. You find a good person and give them a good opportunity, and that's how you asked the question earlier of how do you have such low attrition rate? You know, how do you have such low turnover? Find good people and give them good opportunities, and they're not going to go anywhere. If and this is something I tell roofers all the time. If you are the greener grass, people will always search for the greener grass. They're going to find more greener grass sometime, some way. So it's not about being the greener grass. It's about providing opportunity for good people.
Yeah. And then guys, you got to recruit. I mean, these guys, it's not just, hey, I'm going to put my message out there. I guess I've been doing this so long, you don't realize how many people couldn't stand to be around me at the dinner party because all I did was talk about roofing and how I could help you make thousands of dollars.
I almost lost lots of friends.
Bro. Tons of really cool people who don't freaking like my Facebook, that unfriended me, that don't want me to be at their parties, that just don't want to hear about the roofing business anymore.
Yep, you got to learn when to turn it off, and that's hard to do when your whole life is roofing.
Yeah, so we're certainly not going to be turning off at the IMG January 21st to 24th. Bring your family, bring your salespeople. We have a 2-for-1 deal right now. This is a limited deal, holiday special. We're going to fill this thing up. Like we already are limiting this thing out. It's called IMG Elite for a reason. If you're a knucklehead, don't apply. If you're uncoachable, don't apply. You know, really, we're looking for guys that are 7-figure, producers, $1 million in sales, $1 million in business. You know, if you're not quite there yet, there's no reason why you can't come and learn, but there's going to be advanced strategy here. None of this fluff stuff for the entry-level guy. I mean, entry-level, immerse yourself around the best people and you'll get caught up quick. But, for people that are wondering if you're going to hear the same information here that you hear at every conference about how you need a public adjuster on every file and an attorney, and we'll sue the insurance company this way. No, that's not what Kevin talks about. Kevin actually is a very, very value sharer about beating engineers. Not only that, generating leads on his website, he's generating tons of leads on the internet. And beyond that, also his network of opportunity, which is Pride Public Adjusters. Roofers, they come to learn from Kevin so that they don't have to incur additional expense. And then they have the information from Kevin when they know they need a public adjuster that they can count on, that they've built a rapport and a relationship with. The one deal that we recently did here, Kevin and I mean, he literally was able to respond, answer my questions all the time, recovered an additional $500,000, did it within 6 months, and my customer loved me. He helped keep me in the deal. So I can tell you that Kevin actually does deliver. Kevin takes a personal service to it, but he knows a lot. Not only that, we got Larry Beige, he's an attorney. He's going to be talking about that's cool, man. Anybody got any questions?
That was I wanted to let you finish, but I got a kind of a unique story. Last year, I knew I was getting the book launched, and we were launching the Roofing Academy, and I knew that my time was limited. Our business was growing, so I knew I could only go to like maybe 1 or 2 conferences in the first quarter, and this is one that really stood out to me. And I went to that conference, and that's literally how I got connected to all the people that ultimately helped launch our company and completely redirected how we ended up doing things with the Roofing Academy. And little did I know what was going to happen. I was like, you know what? This is the right conference because it's geared towards contractors that work in the insurance restoration space. And, you know, there's a lot of contractors that want to get in or that try and that don't necessarily know how to capitalize on the opportunity that is billions and billions of dollars every year of damage caused by hailstorms and hurricanes. How do you capitalize on that? You got to understand the insurance side of the business. You got to understand how to do it. Like, we look at our roofing company as almost like a doctor's office. You know, we're not just installing roofs, but we have a whole billing and supplementing and system behind that helps our profitability and that helps us get what we deserve from the roofing company or from the insurance company. So that's what this conference is all about. And going to this conference and connecting with the people that I connected with, it ended up, you know, being the catalyst for what was the most successful year I've ever had in my life in 2018.
Oh, look at this. We got a comment right here. Best investment I made in 2018 was IMG New Orleans. Look at that.
Thanks,
Talk
Gonzalo.
about this moment right there.
That's awesome.
That's what's up. Well, cool, guys.
Beyond an investment, this is a life-changing opportunity. Gary told me something that changed my life. Okay, he said, you need to become a media company, son. I'm like, a media company? Sky Diamonds needs to become a media company, man. And roofers are thinking like, how do I become a media company? And how do we make that profit in our business? And how do I have time for that? And, you know, a year later, we have the answers in terms of a method to help you go beyond the storm. And whether it's digital door knocking, the blue collar marketing method, we're going to talk to you about how you can create insurance claims deals in your home market, how you can get more large loss deals, and you're going to be a just absolute knucklehead not to be at the IMG conference. We're going to be actually keeping this. I think there's never going to be another opportunity like this where there's, you know, this much time that they can spend with us, because I think next year is going to be even bigger, and there's going to be a lot of big stuff coming up. So y'all just did a conference. How was the Job Nimbus conference?
Awesome, man. I mean, the feedback and it was another one. I think less is more in the conference industry. You get in these conferences with thousands of people, and it's really hard to really connect with people. And the Job Nimbus conference was just maybe a little over 200 people, and I felt like I got to actually build a connection and build a relationship and interact with just about every roofer there. You know, client, non-client, that didn't matter. I don't care. We're there to help people. So that was pretty good. It was an amazing conference, and they're already planning next year. That conference is going to grow exponentially just because it was such a valuable conference, and they're going to limit it as well. They're not going to go from 200 to 1,000. They're probably going to just add a couple hundred and keep it as intimate as they possibly can. So that was a great conference, and I'm looking forward to doing that one again.
Well, cool, guys.
Are there any questions? There's people here watching this stream. Are you wondering if there's anything that we could help you with? If there's one thing that Randy could help you with, ask him. If there's one thing I could help you with, ask him. Ask me. Is it you're looking to learn how to train salespeople? Is it that you're looking to learn how to implement new marketing campaigns? Are you looking for the right direction on what you need to be prioritizing with? Are you at the end of the year and you're thinking, holy shit, what I didn't make as much as I thought I'd? Look, I understand that. You might be thinking you can't budget going out to California. But, you know, what's it going to be like if you don't do this? Gonzalo says it's the best investment he's made. And, you know, the truth is you're going to get millions of dollars in value. And if you don't, we'll give you your money back. I'll give you your money back personally out of my pocket, okay? Because I know that we're going to over-deliver. I know we're going to give you freaking thousands of dollars in value. You're paying on a 2-for-1 BOCO ticket. You got $300 per ticket for 3 days of action. And it's in Anaheim, January 21st through 24th. Step number 1 is you're going to go to www.imganaheim.com. Step number 2 is you're going to pull out your Visa, your MasterCard, your American Express. You're going to count up how many people are on your sales team. You're going to get your kids, your wife, book a room at the Disney room. I got the little Disney. It's like right next to Disney because I'm going to do the conference and take my kids to Disney. And join us. You know. All right, you're going to bring in the family.
You know what, though? I actually just took my kids to Disney just a few months back. I'm actually getting a sitter, and my wife and I are getting a fast pass, and we're going to do all day long a date in Disney, and we're just going to hit up the rides, just me and her, and it's going to be
so here's what you need. Here, I'm going to hook you up, Randy. I have an official Disney planner for the family. No bullshit. My wife's best friend is certified by Disney, plans your trips. She will get all your fast passes and lunch reservations coordinated, And it's like serious. We're like Disney superstars. I'm in Florida, so we're doing Disney all the time. Anyways, so what Courtney does is Courtney will literally plan your whole trip, and she's very valuable. I'm gonna have Courtney reach out to you. She's gonna help you out. I'll hook her up with your wife. You can get it all.
Let's
you
go.
guys about to do Disney, right, man? That's what's up. Look at that.
Let's do Disney VIP style. I'm cool with that.
All right, man.
Well, we'll see you guys at Disneyland. We'll see you in Anaheim. Once again, imganaheim.com. And you can look in the comments. We posted a couple links. I know you have a link as well. It's the same thing. Our link is TRA Special, and you put that in as a coupon code, and you'll get 2 for 1. You can't beat that. I mean, this is going to be the best investment you can make, half price, and the best $300 you can spend. Have a day in Disney. Check out Anaheim. I heard a rumor that it's like always 70 degrees and sunny in California in the wintertime. Like I don't. It's like always the same temperature there. It's in the winter. It feels like it's like always nice.
Pretty good to be.
Well, those of us who wake up to snow in the morning, like it's gonna be nice to go to California and enjoy some beautiful weather for a couple days.
Oh yeah. Well, cool
yes,
guys.
It is, man. And I'll tell you, if you're thinking about if I should go to IMG conference versus another conference, go to both conferences, guy. Don't be a knucklehead. All right. If you think you can get value from a place, go there. All right. But you can't afford to miss out on the IMG conference. There's absolutely no reason why you wouldn't want to spend. You know, my company went from 15 million to 50 million bucks. I mean, scaling that much has been absolutely crazy. This year we're going for bigger things, and Randy's probably putting tons more money in his pocket off of 20 million in one place because he's not doing all the crazy freaking like big ups.
You know what, man? I'm investing, bro. I invest back. We're doing a $100,000 remodel. We bought 4,000 square feet of space. We own it all. We're debt free. We own all of our trucks. Like that's how I believe how to do it, man. I'm all about investing back in the business.
You got 2 choices. You can invest in your business, or you can pay taxes. I mean, geez Louise. I mean, it's like
exactly
new problems. Don't you want to have the new problems of having to, decide to pay off your office, pay off your trucks, or pay a bunch of taxes? And like Randy, that's real success. That's real. I saw something that resonated with me, and when I wrote one of my sales guys a 6-figure check, I literally almost cried. Man, he's like, dude, this is like, literally like life changing, and all the people that worked with us this year made more money than any time that they ever had before. And that's when I heard you say that about your family, I thought, wow, man, this is what it's all about.
It is. That's kind of that's the one thing that just stands out above all else is to know that what you created, this crazy idea you had to start a roofing business, has now led to hundreds of people, and we take care of hundreds of people, and it's just, I mean, there's nothing better than that in my life. There's nothing better.
100%. Well, cool guys. Well, hey, we'll be seeing you guys there, right? IMG Elite, January 22nd through the 24th. We got the special all in the notes and the comments. We'll see you guys there. All right.
All right, guys. See ya.
Thanks.